Now, this wasn't supposed to be a part of today's session, but I was reading in Jeremiah these last 2 weeks, and I had a realization that every single thing, you know how sometimes you know something, but then you need something to jog your head and be like, oh my goodness, so that was my Jeremiah experience. And the thing is, every single thing, like we know that we've been built with the storm in mind, right? Like God said, yeah, but I built you to get through this storm. Like this storm isn't supposed to stuck you. And I know what I just said. This storm isn't supposed to hinder you. No, this storm isn't supposed to stop you. Like I built you greater than the storm. So not only can you get through it, girl, but not only will you get through it, you're greater than the storm. And going back to Jeremiah, where God told Jeremiah, God said, Jeremiah, like before I formed you in your mother's womb. Now you think about that. Think about that. Like God literally knew your entire life. And so as he was forming you in your mother's womb, he took into account every storm, every circumstance, every situation, every issue. He took all of that into account and said, okay, this is what I'm putting in her. I got to put this in her because in 25 years, this is what she's going to face. In 5 years, this is what she's going to face. So I need to go ahead and plug her, build her with the winner already inside of her, with the answer to that thing already inside. Like, do you realize how awesome that is? Like God knew every single detail that would happen, that would play out in your life. And he says, oh, I already got the answer inside of her. I already got the answer inside of her. Yeah, I formed her. I built her. And because, listen, that is why God is so confident. That's why God don't be going back on his word. That's why he's so confident that, girl, listen here. Even though the weapon's going to come, guess what? They ain't going to prosper. And do you know why they're not going to prosper? They're not going to prosper because I already know every single thing. And guess what I've done? Girl, I've built you with the winner inside of you. Okay. Like I saw on the 15,378th day of your life that this was going to happen. And guess what? Before I put you in your mama's womb, I already had the answer for that particular day and that particular time. Like, do you know how intricately God has put your life together? What? And so to have a pity party is almost to say, well, he didn't do something right. God did everything right. Matter of fact, he did it better than right. And check this out, right? As I was studying in Jeremiah, so God tells Jeremiah, he has an assignment for Jeremiah, and he tells Jeremiah, he says, basically, well, I'm gonna tell you what he says. So he told Jeremiah, he says, I've made you a fortified city. And listen, you are a fortified city. God has made you a fortified city. Not only a fortified city, but he's made you a pillar of iron and he's made you a wall of brass. Listen, that is called impenetrable. You know that scripture that says, and the weapons of our warfare, they are not carnal, but they're mighty through God. Listen, God says, I already built the weapons inside of you to answer all the weapons that's trying to come against you. And guess who wins every single time? You do. Why? Because I made the weapons in you. Girl. Listen, so no, ma'am. I understand that life can happen and life can hurt when life happens, right? But here's what we've got to remember. We've got to remember who God is. And when we remember who God is and how he formed us, like, do you know that every single part of your personality, your characteristics, your traits, your what would you call them? Your idiosyncrasies, those those pet peeves, those things. Like, do you know that God interweaved all of that inside of you, placed all of that inside of you, right? Why? As an answer to something as an answer to get you to where you're supposed. It's an answer. It's a weapon to get you to where you're supposed to be, girl. So I want to encourage you. This is not the time to sit and have a pity party. No, ma'am. It's not the time to sit and have a pity party. You need to get up, realize number one, who God is. And then when you realize who God is, I need you to open your mind. Let him open your mind so you can realize who you are. And seriously, like every part of your personality, before God put you in your mama's womb, he said, see, I need to give her this temperament right here, because this is the temperament that I'm going to use for my glory. Okay, we're gonna talk about the Jeremiah stuff at another time, but I just want to encourage that person that may be thinking that they're on an island all by themselves, they're lonesome, and they're thinking, woe, it's me, and they're having a pity party. Listen, pity parties, I'm going to say, was created by the devil. Okay? Because what he wants you to do is to doubt who God is and what God has placed in you. That's his goal with pity parties. So I'm not saying, don't be sad or whatever. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, girl, okay, be sad for a moment. I think Ty Tribbett has a song that says, weeping may endure. Wait a minute. No, then that's scripture. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. But Ty has a song that says something, but only one night. Like, girl, don't spend your whole life having a pity party over the same thing. Don't spend the whole week having a pity party over that one thing. Only one night. Only one night. Only one night. Only one night. Okay.